Go ahead, guys.
Hi, I'm Reese Osborne,
And I'm Nico Paulette.
and we are eradicating malaria in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. So this is our project overview. We plan to personally install 80,000 insecticide-treated nets to the citizens of Goma, a city in the North Kivu province of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. In our research of ITNs, we have discovered that it's the best prevention method for malaria. It's the most effective and cost-efficient method. From a peer-reviewed journal that we discovered, we found that the profile of cytokines released in the first moves of infection predict the outcome of the disease. So in this, we discovered that prevention is infinitely more important than medication. Also from the President's Malaria Initiative, we discovered that medication is not feasible because malaria nets can positively affect generations of people, whereas malaria medication will only affect one generation. Our second goal is to eradicate social stigmas surrounding men. So men and women have to treat this disease very differently in the culture of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Men are expected to act stronger, and in this sense, they're sometimes throw away the nets. So our education is goal-focused. So it's really trying to eradicate this specific stigma. We also have the goal of increase in economic productivity, as Nico will describe in a bit. Basically, the DRC is in extreme economic need, and we're trying to expunge the poverty multiplier that is malaria. So the poverty multiplier affects children get infected, they can't go to school, they don't get educated, there are no skilled jobs in the country, and eventually this leads to unemployment and a bad economy.
So as you can see, this is Goma right here, and it's a very high percentage of malaria. So we selected Goma and the Democratic Republic of Congo for several reasons, one of which being economic need. And first of all, they have the one of the lowest GDP per capita of any country affected by malaria. Second of all, the Human Development Index, which ranks living conditions, life expectancy, economic factors, health benefits, it is the second lowest in the world. So there's a definite economic need and health need. Second of all, we selected Goma because it is the center of a very long-lasting conflict in which many refugees moved to the city of Goma because it was a safe zone in a region that was affected by long-lasting civil war. And because of that, conditions are deplorable and they really need help. So we wanted to really focus our emphasis there because there's a large potential for very long-lasting and important impact on that city.
So this is our action plan. It's in 4 steps. There's door-to-door installation of ITNs with personal relationships being established. We are going to educate to eradicate those stigmas, right? Goal-focused. The third step is having a staff of 11 in-country workers to distribute those 80,000 nets to 250,000 people. And we're going to complete this project in 7 months at the beginning of this April to the end of this September, and that's distributing all of those nets before the rainy season in Africa, which is the highest season of malaria infection. So we'll have all of those nets distributed before the high infection season comes.
So the current rate of malaria in Goma is 10%, and we believe we'll be able to lower that to 5%. Also, that would mean 75,000 cases to 37,500 cases per year. Also, by fostering personal relationships with important community members, we believe we can establish our economic impact and such. Also, one significant problem that critics have of ITNs is the improper usage or perceived improper usage. However, in our research, we have found that only 1% of nets are improperly used. And through our education programs, we believe we can quell this usage completely.
Yeah, and that's just fishing with ITNs, improper usage.
So our budget is $945,000, and that accounts for travel costs, ITNs, and employees and such. And that's really important because it's below $1 million, and we believe we can positively affect 250,000 people, and that factors out to about $3.78 per person positively affected. And the population of Goma is about 1 million, so a quarter of the population could be positively affected by this thing.
Great, thank you guys very much. We're going to transition now into questions from the board, make sure they have time to ask any follow-up questions to your guys' group.
Yes.
Okay, so the issue with males throwing out nets, I'm curious about that because, like, how are you gonna see that that isn't happening?
Well, our education program it has that number one goal, right? So we will be alongside the installation, we'll be teaching alongside other members of their community to really eradicate the cultural stigma.
And
So it's really a goal. It's a yeah. You can go.
And we want them to see that their health is more important than their pride, and through that they can see that it's important for them to use these nets, and when they get sick they should seek treatment, and they should use these nets because they don't want to get sick because it can hurt their job, and they should put their pride away and
Do
really...
you have people designated to work with them so that they, you know?
Yes. We have in-staff.
The in-country workers are all Congolese.
How are you going to measure your success?
Well,
He kind of touched on that briefly about establishing relationships with community members. So the scope of our project is so specified that we can really, with those personal relationships established, we'll be tracking our progress that way, as well as with a yearly report of the Human Development Index. We can see how Democratic Republic of the Congo is being affected in that way.
also any positive changes in the malaria rate in Goma would probably reflect our work.
Can you guys just reiterate the prevention is better than medication point? So where does it say that? So what are you gonna do if the population is afflicted with malaria? You're not actually gonna be treating anybody. You're just gonna be preventing further cases.
Right, there's
Right.
no treatment of the current generation that's already infected with malaria,
Uh-huh.
but malaria nets are the most effective prevention
For
method.
prevention for future.
Yeah, as well, it's a very future focused.
And they're pretty durable and they last for.
Yeah, they
Right.
last many
They
years.
last through generations, so that's our idea.
Okay, cool.
Thank you guys very much, really appreciate your presentation, your time today.
Thank you very much.
You guys can head on out there.